we're going to go over some tips and tricks to get you through the holidays.
Talking about boundaries.
Ooh.
Boundaries, the big B word.
Thank God we have an actual professional in this group because she actually has some proven stuff for us to talk about.
That's me. So we're going to highlight 6 pretty quick and easy ways to have good boundaries this holiday season, because there tends to be a lot of yeses and a lot of, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, I'm frustrated, I'm irritable, all that stuff. So
Guilt.
Yes.
Especially as a mom.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, I always call it the bricks in the backpack. A lot more bricks in that backpack during this time of year.
Yeah. So the first one is to name your limits. All about boundaries is by setting up your own limits. And oftentimes when we are thinking about boundaries, we get ourselves into situations that we haven't thought about it. So a quick example of naming your limits is before the holiday season starts, which we're already in the midst of it, but before, it's to name how many holiday gatherings you're going to go to. It's an example. I'm going to go to 3 holiday parties during the work week for the 4 months of December. Or you set the limit of the time that you're going to leave. So any holiday party that's occurring during my work week, whether it's Monday to Friday or Saturday to Sunday, whatever it looks like, I'm leaving at 10:30 p.m. Or on Saturday, I'm going to leave by 1 a.m. We set the limits before, so when we know that we're in the situation, we actually have those boundaries already up here, so you're not easily persuaded to stay.
I love to set, especially the holiday parties when you have to have a babysitter. I just tell the babysitters from this to this time, so then it's, I hired a babysitter from that time, and it works pretty well. I mean, unless I actually want to stay longer, then I'm like, oh man, why'd I do that? But
that's a great way to have boundaries.
Yeah, it is.
And in my role, especially in the past, I used to have to be I swear, this week I'm at 4 holiday parties. Next week's crazy. That happens, but come Christmas, I don't even want to be at the party. I don't want to see people.
Yeah.
So I started scheduling vacation the week before Christmas.
That's a great idea.
That's a great boundary.
I'm like, boom, now I can say no, so.
Yeah, so that one of my absolute favorites is embrace the no. Because so often we're yes people, right? And it's no. And no is great. In the wise words of Brene Brown, she is amazing. She's a social work therapist who does lots of shame and research, but does a huge stuff on boundaries. But anyway, she talks about if it's not an enthusiastic yes for her, it's a no. So it's the way that we go into this is you're asked to do so many different things and spread yourself so thin. If it's not an enthusiastic yes, it's a no. And embrace the no.
I like that. Because sometimes I'm like, sure. I'll make those pickle roll-ups that take me 4 hours. I mean, you gotta just...
Yeah.
You gotta lay the law down.
And to be direct, that's actually another one that we have highlighted, is to be direct with your boundaries. Because any gray, it gives room for your wiggle room. So if it's a gray answer, what it is it's really here's your boundary. When if it's a very black and white, a no's a no, and a gray's a gray. And an example of this is you have a friend coming in from out of town that you haven't seen for a couple years. He's coming in on the same night that you already have something scheduled. Or worse, it's the only night you don't have something scheduled. So a non-direct answer is, I'll do my best to make it, with inside everything cringes.
Yeah.
It's I just want to sit on the couch.
Yeah.
A direct answer is, no, not going to make it.
Yeah, I've got other stuff going on.
Yep.
And people understand, and I'm, as somebody who lived out of state, when you would get those, I'll try, it got so annoying because you get 5 of those and you're like, how am I I can't plan my time
Right.
out. So if you're waiting on call, it's just better just to be
I
up
can't.
front because it wastes time.
Yep. And a big thing about the holidays is lots of family. We all have different opinions, and friends have different opinions. So how do we protect our own values and beliefs in a very permissionable way for us to disagree in a graceful way? So
I just make everyone believe what I believe.
if it worked that way, it'd be so easy, right?
In my head.
Yeah, but it's giving yourself that permission and that grace
Yeah.
to gracefully excuse yourself from a situation. So an easy example of this is, if Great Aunt Ginny has a very different belief than you do. It's, I respect your values and beliefs, and I don't share them. And that gives you a nice exit. And it's also, you're not engaging in this conversation that makes you feel icky. Or a different example is, people are running their mouths about a family member that you admire and respect. It's, I can understand your frustrations about so-and-so, and I'm not going to engage in family gossip.
Yeah.
So it's just setting those boundaries.
I always just say, we all got our shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. We do.
It is.
There is no, you could sit there and talk about somebody else, but you know deep down you got something else. You're like, you know, it may not be the same thing, but
right.
you're just really deflecting from your own crap if you have to talk about other people. And it's true.
Yep.
If you have that much energy to talk about other people too, just it's not worth it. But
and oftentimes we always feel the need to give an explanation as to why we're not doing something or why we are.
Yeah,
I do that all the time. I'm like, I
life.
have to do this and that, and I'll try to make it, and then I'm going crazy.
A good boundary practice is to know that you do not owe an explanation to anyone.
No.
So again, it's allowing yourself that permission to know that you don't need to give an explanation. Just do what you need to do based on your family schedules, your kids' schedules if you have kids, just your work-life balance, integration, and how that works. Give yourself the permission to not give an explanation.
Yeah, and I've like recently, because we're going through so much with our house, and just we've got things going on, you know, and I've got clients, stuff like that, and some of the extra things which I normally would want to do, I just tell people, like, you know, my brain can only handle so much, and I might short out if I keep over going, which and people generally understand, generally.
And the very last boundary that I wanted to highlight real quick, and it's the most important, so we say the important for last, it's prioritizing your own self-care and your own health. So what that looks like is healthy sleep habits, having the fluids going, non-alcoholic beverages. Oftentimes during the holidays, we have a tendency to drink more and to stay up later. Be aware of how much you're taking in, and make healthy food choices, healthy drink choices, get that sleep in and get that exercise.
Yeah. Yeah, staying up late is really, because, you know, you wait to wrap the presents till the kids go to bed, or you're Amazoning all night because you don't have time to shop.
Or you have 4 parties in 1 week.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's
real
crazy.
thing, too.
And a puppy that's waking up at 4:30.
Oh, yeah.
So it can be exhausting. So the number one thing to take away from boundaries is being aware of what your internal clock is telling you. So really it's self-awareness. So figuring out, where am I feeling irritable? Where am I feeling fatigued? Where do I find myself wanting to withdraw? Because those are likely going to be the aspects that you want to put in place for some boundaries. So a quick recap, the 6 that we talked about.
Can I talk about
Yes.
one, setting boundaries for yourself too? Because with me, 4 parties this week, but I truly want to be at these parties because they're all my people, you know? So I want to be there, but I'm going to exhaust myself and I'm concerned for it the next 4 days. So how do you setting boundaries with other people, but truly for yourself, with your self-care and all that stuff, you know?
So my very short answer, because I have a long answer we can talk about later, but my very short answer is to be aware of where that fatigue starts and know how you're replacing it. So you're being around people that bring you joy and that bring you love, and that's what the holidays are all about. So as you're going through this fatigue, know that you need to replace that in the next coming days. So make sure that you're scheduling more of those self-care days outside of when you know that you're
Netflix going on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another thing I'd like to say that like personally helps me is when I hear like my family, sometimes they like to prod, like they want a reaction from me, and I love them and they love me, but they know that I definitely have different beliefs. So I tell myself that's I'm not gonna let them. It's just not why. Yeah. And the other thing is to like seek to understand. I tell myself this a lot, and it's sometimes a very difficult thing to, because we're all in our own minds so often. You know, like, this is my belief. This is, you know, I'm right, I'm wrong. Which that's fine to have those, but if you don't seek to understand, you're gonna let that stuff bother you, and it does not. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's just not. So when even we have different beliefs. That would just trigger my grandpa to,
Yep. Yeah. You just give yourself that grace.
Yeah. You just.
So, and that it all ties in. It's naming your limits and setting them for yourself. It's giving yourself permission and grace while you're working on setting boundaries. It's being direct, embracing the no. Embrace the no. I can't say that one enough. And it's okay not to give an answer or an explanation as to why, and prioritize your own self-care. Those are really the 6 big things that you want to take away from setting boundaries this holiday season. And so with that, we say, happy boundary holiday!
Ho, ho, ho!